Have you ever wondered how a simple gesture from a child can change the destiny of a family? Today we tell you a touching story, how a little girl and her mother managed to touch the heart of a strict judge. Stay tuned until the end, because what happens at the end of this story will make you see justice in a new light. Get your tissues ready, because this is a story that will touch you deeply. Before we start, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell so you don't miss more motivational and inspirational stories like this. Nia is a single mother, a strong and determined woman who fights every day to guarantee a better future for her 6-year-old little Maya. Their life is a constant challenge. Nia works hard in a bakery, often working double shifts as a waitress to make ends meet. Every morning he starts at the crack of dawn, preparing breakfast for Maya and organizing the day with military precision. One day, one of those particularly hectic mornings, Nia receives a fine for parking in a space reserved for disabled people. The fine is $200, an amount that for her means half of her weekly grocery budget. Desperate, she decides to go to court to explain her situation, hoping for the judge's understanding. Judge Callisto is known for his rigidity and severity in following the rules to the letter. His reputation precedes him, an uncompromising man, who firmly believes in uncompromising justice. With her heart in her mouth, Nia shows up in the courtroom with Maya by her side. The courthouse is imposing, with its tall columns and massive doors. Every step they take towards the classroom seems like an eternity. As she tries to explain her difficulties, little Maya interrupts with an innocent but surprising request: "Hamburgers, please." Her ringing voice resonates in the room, breaking the silence and drawing all eyes to her. And what do you think? Do you believe that a judge should always be inflexible, or is there room for compassion even in the courts? Write it in the comments and let us know your opinion. Silence falls in the classroom. Everyone is stunned, except Judge Callisto, who surprisingly doesn't get angry. Instead, he asks Maya to come closer and tell him more about her desires. The little girl, with her innocence, explains that she and her mother haven't had breakfast and that they are very hungry. Nia blushes, fearing that this will make her situation worse, but the judge seems genuinely interested. The judge, struck by the situation, decides to take a break. He asks his assistant to get something to eat for Maya. This simple humanitarian gesture warms the hearts of everyone present, and Nia, with tears in her eyes, watches the scene in disbelief. Maya smiles happily as she receives a bag with a sandwich and fruit juice. The little girl thanks her with a big smile, and the judge, for a moment, seems to abandon his stern mask. After the break, Judge Callisto returns to the courtroom with a different look. He decides to do something extraordinary. He asks Maya what she thinks her mother's punishment should be. Maya's answer, simple and sincere, makes everyone smile: "You are the judge, you know what is right." Before continuing, if this story touched you, like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss other stories like this. Turn on the notification bell. Judge Callisto, evidently moved, decides to cancel the fine. But it doesn't stop there. In a gesture no one expected, he hands Nia a list of resources for single mothers, including job training programs and child care, and suggests she enroll in a free online degree program. This decision not only immediately relieves financial pressure on Nia, but also gives her the chance to build a better future for herself and her daughter. The judge's compassion and empathy transformed a desperate situation into a new life opportunity for Nia. To delve deeper, let's go back and see how Nia got to this point. Nia, originally from a small town, moved to the city in search of a better future. His life was never easy, and the difficulties began right from the start. Shortly after Maya's birth, the little girl's father abandoned the family, leaving Nia alone to take care of everything. The move to the city was dictated by the need to find a stable job. With little savings, Nia had to accept precarious and low-paid jobs. Despite this, she never lost hope and continued to fight to offer a dignified life to her little girl. Life in the city, however, turned out to be harder than expected. The cost of living was high, and Nia had to deal with unexpected expenses that put a strain on her fragile financial balance. Working at the bakery was a small relief. Even though it was exhausting, Nia found a community of people willing to help her. The owner of the bakery, an elderly woman named Maria, has become a mother figure to her. Maria taught her the secrets of pastry making and supported her in times of difficulty. But despite his commitment and hard work, the income was not enough to cover all the expenses. On the day of the fine, Nia was taking Maya to the doctor. The little girl had a high fever and Nia was worried. In the panic of the moment, seeing all the parking spaces occupied, he made the wrong decision to park in a space reserved for disabled people. She was aware she was committing an infraction, but concern for her daughter's health took over. When she found the ticket on her windshield, Nia felt her world collapse around her. $200 was a huge sum for her. That evening, she put Maya to bed and sat at the kitchen table, looking at the fine and thinking about how to pay that amount. He tried to do the math, cutting every expense possible, but it was clear he couldn't do it. The decision to go to court was made with a heavy heart. He knew that facing Judge Callisto would not be easy. The stories she had heard about him terrified her, but she had no other choice. He had to try everything to try to make his situation understood. On the day of the hearing, Nia woke up early. She prepared Maya and tried to give her a nutritious breakfast, but the little girl, still weak from fever, ate little. As they made their way to the courthouse, Nia prayed that everything would go well. Every step was a mix of hope and fear. In the courtroom, the tension was palpable. Nia tried to stay calm, but inside she was a whirlwind of emotions. When Maya asked for the burger, Nia feared the worst. But Judge Callisto's reaction was unexpected. His empathy transformed that moment of tension into a touching scene, capable of melting even the hardest hearts. The food break allowed everyone to see Nia and Maya in a new light. They were not just a mother and daughter in difficulty, but they represented all those people who fight silent battles every day. Judge Callisto, touched by Maya's sincerity, showed a human side that few knew. When the hearing resumed, Nia was prepared for the worst, but hoped for a miracle. And the miracle happened. The judge's decision to overturn the fine and provide resources to help Nia was an act of compassion that deeply touched everyone present. Nia, thanks to the judge's help, was able to look to the future with renewed hope, knowing that she was not alone in her struggle. If you enjoyed this story and it touched your heart, we invite you to watch this suggested video on the end screen for another inspiring story. Thanks for following us, see you next time.